Hey guys, and welcome back to my YouTube. I'm sure a lot of you guys are coming over here from TikTok. We put together this makeup look, and I'm going to be going into an in-depth version of... Does anyone else's dogs have jealousy issues? We have one back there, and then we have one down here, and they're just staring at each other, both trying to claim the bed. Will you quit being a brat and let your sister up there too? Sorry, guys. Over here. Yeah. Here's your lovey. Here's Lammy. Okay, let's get this. Aww. You look so comfy. Okay, so now he's ready. So guys, today I'm going to be talking about the Gabby Petito case. I'm sure as a lot of you know, you probably are coming over from my TikTok account where we put together this makeup look while addressing the case. So there's a lot more that I have to say about this case. There is a whole analysis that I want to do on this. There's been a lot of theories that have come out of this, in addition to giving more insight on some of the backstory and the timeline surrounding this case as well. This case does not sit right with me, as it hasn't with most other people that have looked into it, mostly because of her fiance's behavior. So before we even look into that, if you're joining from YouTube, hi, welcome. I do a lot of crime, conspiracy theories, and just talk about whatever I want to talk about on this account. And grab a snack and we'll get into this case. I don't know if you guys have seen the Don't F with Cats documentary on Netflix, but I'm going to actually be doing a whole video over that documentary as well. But I feel like we are currently living in that documentary. Most of the findings that is going on right now is being done by the public. Like, everyone is searching for Gabby. The police have asked for the public's help with this investigation, so that's why it's so important to be sharing these videos, to be observant, to be, looking at her missing persons flyer. I'm going to be putting her flyer over here and a picture of her tattoos over here, so please be wary of this. And I'm going to put the FBI hotline right here. If you guys have any tips, if you've seen anything, please contact this number. I have some notes on my laptop, so I might be looking over here a lot. Ignore that. But first things first, let's get into the backstory. Gabby Petito is originally from Blue Point, New York, while Brian Laundrie is from Northport, Florida. They ended up coming together and meeting in high school in Blue Point. While they met, they became really good friends, and they continued this friendship up until they decided to become romantically involved in around March of 2019. And not too long after they started dating, she actually moved out to Northport, Florida with him. July of 2020, they ended up becoming engaged. And as you can see from the post, they seem very excited about it. Till death do us part. He's also excited that she said yes as well. The same month that he proposed, they also went for a hike in Colorado, and you can see from their Instagram pages that they're very outdoorsy. They're very experienced hikers. Sometime within this, they ended up actually going back to Blue Point in order to visit her brother for his graduation. And according to the Petito family, because they wanted to hold off on actually having a wedding because of Corona and everything, they decided to take a 4-month-long cross-country journey in order to explore a variety of places in the United States. I totally relate to Gabby on this. Honestly, it's my dream to be doing YouTube, and it was her dream as well. She wanted to be a vlogger. She wanted to do the van life and just live a minimalist lifestyle. Gabby also took a montage of videos in order to put together for a giant YouTube vlog that I'll be posting clips of later in this video. I'm also going to put a photo of what their layout was supposed to be. They were supposed to go through all these different places and then end in Oregon. July 2nd of 2021, they took off and departed from Blue Point, New York in their 2012 Ford Transit van. And this was modified to be a camper for them so that they could just live out of this van as they were going through their journey. And you can see from their Instagrams, I'll put little screenshots here, they were very active, showing all the fun stuff that they were doing. Again, very experienced hikers, keep this in mind. By July 4th, they were at Monument Rocks National Landmark in Kansas. Here's her picture that she posted on her Instagram. And here's the photo that he posted on his Instagram. As you can see, on July 8th, Gabby posted in Colorado Springs, Colorado. And then on July 11th, she posted from Great Sand Dunes National Park and Preserve. And it looks like about July 16th, they were both in Zion National Park or Zion National Park. I'm not really for sure on the pronunciation of that. On July 21st, you can see her post from Bryce Canyon National Park. And then on July 26th, you can see that they posted from Mystic Hot Springs and Monroe, Utah. On July 31st, she posted from southeastern Utah and Canyonlands National Park. And as you can see from her Instagram, they also posted on August 12th from Arches National Park in Utah. And later this day, they ended up having a domestic altercation in which the police had to get involved. A witness named Christopher ended up getting a hold of the police saying that a couple in a white Ford Transit were engaged in an altercation. And this occurred at Moonflower Co-op. From Christopher's point of view, he stated that there was an argument between the female in which the male walked away so that he could calm down, but the female did not want to be separated, so she went up and started to slap him, and in response, he grabbed and pushed her face away. In order to separate from her again, he ended up going into the van, locking the door, and she tried to get in and successfully did so. From there, they ended up driving away from the scene, and whenever the police finally caught up to them to pull them over, he actually ended up hitting a curb on the way over whenever they had to perform a traffic stop. And you'll see as the police approach the car that it's obviously Brian who is driving, and Gabby is in tears. I'm going to be including some of the clips from that police body cam footage now.
Okay. What's going on? How come you're crying?
I'm sorry, we've just been fighting this morning. Some personal issues.
It was a long day. We were camping yesterday, and camping got just out flies and stuff. I'm sorry I hit the bump there.
I was distracting him from driving. I'm sorry.
Can I get you to step out of the vehicle for me, man?
Yeah.
Just hang tight right there. Do you mind if I take your keys and just put them on your hood?
You got it, buddy. I'm so
Thank
sorry.
you. Oh, no, you're fine.
I don't know. It's just some days I have really bad OCD, and
okay.
I was just cleaning and straightening up the back of the van before, and I was apologizing to him and saying, I'm sorry that I'm so mean, because sometimes I have OCD and sometimes I just get really frustrated. Not like mean towards him. I just like, I guess my vibe is like I am really like in a bad mood. And I was just saying, I'm sorry if I'm in a bad mood. I've just been really stressed. I had so much work I was doing on my computer this morning.
What do you do for a living?
Well, I used to work at an all-organic juice bar, but I just quit my job.
Okay.
I was a nutritionist. That was my
That's
job.
cool.
And I just quit my job to travel across the country. And I'm trying to start a blog. I just have a blog and stuff. So I've been building my website. So I've just been really stressed, and he doesn't really believe that I could do any of it. So that's kind of been like I don't know, he's like
This whole video is about an hour and a half long if you guys would like to watch it, but basically she is stating that she is having trouble dealing with her anxiety, her OCD, and also stress in general of starting this journey and starting this vlog account, and he also has anxiety as well, and they have just not been getting along because of it.
It wasn't like a push, and she jumped on me. She was already, I don't want to, she was already swinging, and I was just, a lot of angles, a lot of nails, a lot of rings. Yeah. I'm fine, and I love Gabby. I hope she doesn't have too many complaints about me. I'm just, I feel bad I had to get so public. I was just trying to be loud. So this is, try to make her calm down and be like, look, everyone's watching.
This is clearly a situation that escalated way too much, and the police honestly made a really good decision in order to separate them. They also determined it as a mental health crisis so that she wasn't charged with anything.
I'm choosing not to cite you today, so you are not going to be charged with anything. All right? But this is what I do have to do. I am separating the two of you tonight. Okay? I want you guys both to be tonight away from each other, relax, breathe, crying, because there's no reason to be crying now, okay? I understand that this can feel like it's a nightmare, but you're coming out as the golden flower on top of it, okay?
From their determination at the time, given this information, this does not look like a criminal case. One thing that the police made them do was separate for the night, so Gabby stayed with the van, and the police just drove him to a hotel. Brian also explained in the video that she might be having a manic episode. I don't really know if that's an actual diagnosis that she has, or if maybe potentially he was just misusing that term. So Brian ends up actually flying back temporarily during this trip on August 17th in order to move some of his belongings either in or out of a storage unit that belonged to both him and Gabby. And he's helping his dad do this around this time while Gabby is staying at a hotel. And then he returns back to Utah around August 23rd. On August 19th, they end up posting their YouTube video called Nomadic Static, and I will include that little montage in here so you guys can kind of see what that was like, what some of their interactions were like.
Pues entonces.
Hello, and good morning. It is really nice and sunny today. It's only 10 o'clock in the morning, but it rained all afternoon yesterday.
We are right outside Capitol Reef right now in a free dispersed camp spot, and we've been lucky so far at all the places we've stayed, but I'd say this is one of the best so far. Since we left New York, I've only set up my hammock once, and now we're all the way in Utah, and luckily enough I was able to set up my hammock in one of these trees.
And we're kind of like in the desert.
You really never get to see the full picture of someone's relationship through social media. So Gabby's father ended up last speaking to her on August 21st because he ended up ordering Uber Eats for both her and Brian together. And then on August 24th, they apparently left Salt Lake City and drove to Grand Teton National Park in Wyoming. After she left Salt Lake City, she ends up FaceTiming her mom for the last time on August 25th, and she also makes her last Instagram post here. So Gabby's mom continues to receive text messages from Gabby up until August 30th, but she's really not for sure if those text messages are even from her or not, because Gabby texted her one of these times saying that she does not have good cell service, and people that live in that area that she was in were like, the cell service is fine. So as you guys probably already know, on September 1st, Brian ends up coming home back to Florida by himself with the van and with no Gabby. And if that in and of itself is not suspicious enough, he comes back and attorneys up, immediately gets a lawyer. He has not and will not speak to Gabby's family. He will not and has not spoken to the media. And he ended up releasing a statement through his attorney, which states, "This is understandably an extremely difficult time for both the Petito family and the Laundrie family. It is our understanding that a search has been organized for Miss Petito in or near Grand Teton National Park in Wyoming. On behalf of the Laundrie family, it is our hope that the search for Miss Petito is successful and that Miss Petito is reunited with her family. On the advice of counsel, the Laundrie family is remaining in the background at this juncture and will have no further comment." I don't understand if this is someone's love of their life and they had nothing to do with this. Why would they want to remain in the background? Why would they want to remain in the background? Even if something ended awfully, even if it was just for selfish reasons, like it would be in his best interest, at least from where I'm standing and from what I can understand, it would be in his best interest to at least say where he last saw her in order to clear his own name. Because if you guys go onto his Instagram, I mean, people are just eating him up in his comment section right now. And currently, obviously, he is a person of interest. On September 11th, they ended up officially reporting Gabby as missing, and they also confiscated the vehicle as well. And person of interest does not necessarily mean that he is a suspect. It's just, he probably knows more than what he's letting on, obviously. I mean, he could at least, at the bare minimum, he owes it to the family, he owes it to Gabby to say, this is where I last saw her. And I apologize if I'm getting overly emotional about it in any way. It's a little suspicious if he doesn't say anything at all. That just doesn't really make any sense to me. And I don't really understand how that statement could have helped anything. A huge issue that happened here is that with both of them struggling with mental health issues and then leaving together for 4 months in a small camper just created a recipe for disaster. And I also want to be very clear that while Brian's behavior is very suspicious, he is very much within his rights. I understand that there can be some concern with maybe getting coerced into admitting things in investigation, but that's why you should have your attorney there with you in the investigation or in the interrogation, so that he can help and he can help figure out what you can say and what you cannot say. I also want to state that his behavior is very out of the norm as well, because as you guys can see from that body cam footage, he did not stop talking to the police. He did not shut up. And now he's quiet, completely silent. I just think literally anything at this point would be more helpful than what Brian is doing. And to get into some theories that people have talked about, a lot of people don't think that she posted her last Instagram post. As you guys can see from this caption, it doesn't look quite like the rest of her captions. This one is extremely short. The rest of them are, for the most part, extremely long, extremely thorough. She was also tagging her location on where she was at in most of her other photos as well. And even on her few photos where she does have a short caption or just like a quick little thing, she utilizes hashtags and smiley faces a lot in pretty much all of those. So it seems a little bit out of character and out of her typical behavior pattern to have posted this. Someone else also brought up her hair in it too. Her hair looks freshly done. Like her roots are done, while in all of her previous photos, her roots are not done. And while this might seem insignificant for some people, that means that this could have been an old photo and someone could have just posted it, because a lot of girls, at least like me, I don't go to just anyone to go do my hair. Like, we typically like build up a relationship with our hairstylist and continue to go back to like get our roots done and everything. Like, we won't just like go out and see someone on a road trip or anything like that. So kind of weird that her hair did have roots and then it didn't. If she's that far away from home, she's probably not with her typical hairstylist. Another theory that is actively being looked at as we speak by the police, because it has not been ruled out yet, is that there's a potential connection between Petito's disappearance and the murders of Crystal Turner and Kaale Schulte. They were both last seen August 13th camping in Moab. They were having issues with a reported creepy man and ended up having to leave to a different campsite because of it, and their bodies were found on August 18th in the LaSalle Mountains. Their death was determined to be the result of gunshot wounds that were found on the body, and something interesting about this case is that one of them actually worked at Moonflower, which is the place where they had that domestic incident. There's been 2 photos going around on the Facebook group and also on Reddit being widely debated to be her. One of them was of a girl laying down in the back wearing similar clothes as her while there's a family taking a selfie. More photos came out of it later. This was not her at all. And again, even if it had been her, I don't really think it was something that could have even been helpful. The other photo that was found is her at a gas station. Someone claimed to have seen someone having issues with mental health, and they look very similar. However, this was also ruled out to not be her either. It may have just been the angle of the photo, the blurriness of the photo, that kind of made her align to look like Gabby. And after speaking with a family friend of Gabby, it seems like she came from a really good family and that no one actually really expected this of Brian at all, or really expected him to hurt her in any way. The dad said he has some thoughts on Brian, just especially, like, I'm sure at the bare minimum on how he's acting right now, but apparently this is just very, very out of character in general. And another thing that she pointed out was this post over here. He actually took it down from his Instagram for a while, but she got a screenshot. It's back up now. I wonder if people called him out on it, but it's a little bit of a creepy photo. I understand that art can be different things and can be metaphors for different things and, you know, expressing different parts of yourself, but given the circumstance, it's a bit of an odd photo. So there was another video that ended up being posted by a woman named Miranda Baker on August 29th. I guess she picked up Brian from Grand Teton at 5:30 p.m. Culture Bay, and she ended up getting a hold of authorities with this tip and has been helping out the FBI with this investigation. Brian was hitchhiking and he hopped into the back of her Jeep and offered her $200 to give him a ride. Apparently he had been camping for multiple days without his fiance while she worked on their social media page back at a hotel. And the couple ended up saying that they were going to Jackson, and he freaked out and they just ended up dropping him off at the Jackson Dam, and he said that he was just going to go across the street to the other parking lot and hitchhike for someone else, which is very strange. And one of the strangest parts that they said was that he did not look or smell like someone who had been camping for days. Like, he seemed too, you know, clean cut. He had maybe a little bit of scruff, and he also only had one backpack, and he had been out there for days, and even stated that he only had a tarp to sleep on. So he would have, I would imagine he'd be kind of stinky, at least. So the last theory that I'm going to be talking about today is the Yellowstone zone of death. Some people have theorized that she potentially was taken to this zone. Yellowstone National Park is owned by the federal government and has exclusive jurisdiction throughout the entire park. Well, it's in 3 states technically, but the government put the park under the Federal District of Wyoming. Under the 6th Amendment of the Constitution, it states that a member of the jury should be in the state and the district where the crimes have been committed. Sounds easy enough. However, this strip of land in Yellowstone National Park also lies in Idaho as well. So if a murder happens in this strip, the members of the jury would have to come from the District of Wyoming along with the state of Idaho. So they would quite literally have to come from this little strip of land. However, the population in that strip of land is 0. And this is not to say that somebody would get away with murder if they killed someone over there. We really just don't know how a federal judge would rule in this scenario, since we've never really been given this scenario. A crime's never been committed there as far as we know. Murder is not legal anywhere, you guys. Not legal anywhere. So the police again have been asking for the public's help. So whatever you can, please share these videos, please tag people in them, please post them on your stories, whatever you can do in order to get Gabby's story out there. And hopefully we can find her. I know that the family is extremely hopeful. From talking to the family friend, I know that the family is very hopeful that she is still out there and that we are going to be able to find her. I really believe in the power of social media and the power of the true crime community, and also in the power of the Facebook community as well. Those Facebook groups, like we saw with Don't F with Cats, like people come together for this stuff. People really come together in order to solve this. Like we are out here doing the most and hopefully getting more information out there. You know, for example, just the girl Miranda Baker on TikTok, she was able to come forward and be like, hey, I also saw him. I reported this to the FBI, but if anyone else saw him, you know, this is my story with him, just in case, you know, maybe he hitchhiked with another person. They have no idea what's going on with this case. So again, like I said, be observant, contact the FBI if you know anything, and I will try to keep you guys as updated as possible. So it is now dark out. I can finally eat my Genghis. And I just want to say I love you guys so much, and thank you so much for joining me for this video today. Please like, please subscribe, and please let me know what you guys want to hear next down in the comments. I genuinely cannot wait to be making more videos for you guys on here. I kind of like breaking up the doing makeup and the storytelling just because that's what I'm used to on TikTok. Let me know what you guys think about that, or if you want me like actively doing makeup, or if you don't really care. Other than that, I'll just see you guys next time.